Hello, I'd like to introduce Dr. Gary Colton, CEO of Adaptive Intelligence Consulting. Dr. Colton, your company is called Adaptive Intelligence Consulting. Could you explain the concept of adaptive intelligence?
I'd love to, and it's the key question, I guess, when people hear the name of the company, they want to know, what is this thing called adaptive intelligence? And in a nutshell, it's the characteristics we have as individuals to be able to respond to change and also create change. If you like, it's an expression of our relationship with the changing world around us. And it's whether or not we want to be buffeted by it or live with it and not just survive, but thrive. And I think one of the best ways of explaining adaptive intelligence is to give a metaphor, an example. I'm going to use a sporting example.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do, and anybody that's watching this video, is I'd like to imagine yourself as the head coach of a really, really top-class soccer team in whatever country you happen to be living in. And imagine the pressure that you, day in, day out, have to withstand. You've got the media, you've got the expectations of the fans, the pressure of the board of directors wanting results. And yet you have to maintain a calm inner life and also a calm exterior. Now let's transfer you to an actual game. It's the first half of a game, and you're playing your arch rivals, and there's no score, there's no goals. And you've spent some of the game down by the touchline, the sideline, so that you can watch the individual players at work. You can look at their expressions, their body movements. Are they going into the tackles fully committed? So you're getting the fine-grained detail of what's happening. But also, you've gone up into the stands, up into the high seats. So you're now looking at the patterns of play. You're zooming out. And you can see two things. One is that the opposition have managed to exploit a little gap in the left-hand side of your defence. They haven't scored yet, but it's been really close, and that will be a danger from now on. You've also noticed that your offence, your attackers, have made no headway at all, and they're unlikely to score unless you change something. So it's coming to half time. You've got 15 minutes to influence what's going to happen. So what do the great coaches do when they get into that changing room? Absolutely nothing. They sit and listen for 1 or 2 minutes, because you're gaining insight from the players. If they're saying nothing, that's not good news. If they're attacking each other, that's also not good news. But you might get some new insight from them without you asking any questions. So the next thing you can do is you can overtly tell them what you've observed. Did they know it was happening? If so, what do they think that they should do about it? And finally, you've probably got two actions you can take. You can change the formation of your defence very slightly, and the result will be a change in the opposition's way of playing. That might close the gap, but it also might open an opportunity. So that's probably what you do for the first 10 minutes of the next half, because that's telling you that you are trusting your team. Go out and try this new thing before I come in and replace any of you. But still, although you've closed the gap in your defence, you've still not had the chance to score yet. So your next move is to bring on a replacement, a substitute, in attack. And lo and behold, you score, you win the game. Now, what has actually been happening here? What the coach has shown is a huge understanding of themselves, their values, the purpose in life, before they ever get on the pitch. So this is about the heart-held, emotional intelligence. And it's also expressed in the way that he listened, or she listened, to the players before imposing their view. That's where emotional, heart-based intelligence is. Of course, you've got the intellectual intelligence, the head's at work all the time, analysing, observing, and creating. And finally, there's the motivation, or what I call positive intelligence. That is an understanding of who you are, who the team is, and bringing that out in a form of bravery, courage, This decision has to be made, it has to be made now, and I'm going to do it. In any circumstance, whether it's sport or business, there's a certain context in which you're operating, and this is always changing. And it's how much of each of these three types of intelligence, the heart emotional intelligence, the head analytical intelligence, and the gut-based intuition, motivation kind of intelligence, how much of them and in what proportion do you bring to that problem? And when you do that in the right amount, that's when you're dancing in the moment. And that is adaptive intelligence. Now, the cool thing is that both individuals and organizations have their own adaptive intelligence. But life tends to turn the volume switch down a bit, if you get what I mean. The job of my company is to help people learn how to turn the volume switch back up. Now, the great news is that you can learn how to do this. It's not just an inbred, inbuilt capacity, although some people seem to be natural at it. You can learn it, you can practice the skills, and you can become a master at it. And that's what we do. We help people become masters of manipulating their adaptive intelligence.
Okay.
And if people want to learn more, they can go to the website and find out about the details. Or they can email me at info@adaptiveintelligence.co.uk.